10 things not to do in Japan. Japan is an amazing country with amazing people. And just like any country you go to, you don't want to disrespect the culture. So in this video, we came up with 10 things that you guys should be careful about when you come to Japan. So let's get right into it. The first one is walking into someone's house with shoes on. So it's always been part of the Japanese culture to take off your shoes whenever you walk inside somebody's house. So if you ever walked into my house, or if you ever go into Peace's house and you leave your shoes on, our moms will probably give you the scariest stare down, and you probably are not gonna be invited back to the house. And there's also some Japanese restaurants, they require you to take off the shoes. So don't forget that. And the best way to know this when you walk into a restaurant is when you step inside, if there's a big step, then you're most likely supposed to take off your shoes. But all in all, just remember, keep it in mind that taking off your shoes is very respectful when you go into a Japanese person's home.
All right, second thing not to do in Japan is tipping. In Japan, everyone takes pride to customer service, so it is kind of standard to have high customer service, and please do not tip them. It might consider as kind of disrespect, and whole tipping to workers' culture in Japan does not really work. So even you have a great customer service in Japan, please don't think about tipping. If you hate tipping, Japan is a very great country because you don't have to tip and they will give you high quality customer service. However, if you accidentally tip, they will politely ask you to take the money back. So if you don't like tipping, Japan is a great country.
Okay, so number 3 are chopstick manners. So when you come to Japan, you're always gonna use chopsticks, and they have forks and spoons, but if you wanna try out chopsticks, just know that there are manners to it. You never wanna stick the chopsticks straight vertical into a rice bowl, because this actually represents a bowl of rice presented to a deceased spirit. You wanna be careful. You don't wanna do that when you're at a restaurant because it's not gonna look good and everyone's gonna be looking at you weird. So just remember, when you eat with chopsticks and you're not using them, lay them flat sideways onto the top of the bowl and not stick them vertically into the food. And another thing with chopsticks, you never wanna hand food from chopstick to chopstick. It may seem fun, but in Japan, when you cremate somebody, you hand the ashes and bones from chopstick to chopstick. And it's kind of like a Japanese ritual. It's always nice trying out chopsticks, if you don't know how to use them, somebody nice enough to teach you how to use them, but make sure you know the manners of using chopsticks.
So when you're traveling around Japan, your main transportation is going to be a train. So it is important to let the people exit first before you get into the train. It will be pretty awkward and kind of disrespectful for people if you rush into the train. And I know you don't have a time and you want to travel around Japan, but please be cautious and please let people go before you get into the train.
And another thing with the trains, do not talk on the phone. At least if you're going to, be polite about it and move away from people, and then, talk very quietly if you have to. Keep your phone on vibrate, no loud music either. I always see videos of subway trains in New York City where, people with bands and everything playing music inside the train. And as much as I would love that, in Japan, it's not really good. People in Japan are very quiet. They love their peace and quiet. So when you're on the train, please be respectful and don't talk on the phone very loudly. Do not play loud music. And when you have a conversation with somebody, talk at a quiet tone. You don't need to shout. Train's not just for you, it's for everybody. So let's just be mindful about the people around you. All right, so the next thing I want to talk about are tattoos. Now, it's gotten better over the years, and I'm seeing more Japanese people with tattoos on like trains and stuff, but it's still kind of frowned upon. You don't want to be showing off, your whole chest piece or your whole back piece or anything. I have a tattoo on my chest, so I don't really wear tattoos or anything. I still wear a t-shirt to cover it up. I have a small tattoo, but the smaller tattoos are okay to show, I think. If you can cover it up, I would recommend covering it up, because for Japanese people, tattoos are still a symbol of being in Yakuza or, a bad gang. But like I said, it's getting better and better, Yeah. And I love tattoos, but I'm not gang orientated at all. But like I said, if you can't cover it up, I would recommend covering it up. One thing to keep in mind though, if you have a big tattoo, you can't go to public pools or anything. If you do, they might ask you to wear a t-shirt to cover it up. Or if you're like me and you have a tattoo right here, they might ask you to cover it up with a band-aid or a wristband. So just keep that in mind when you come to Japan. Tattoos aren't the best thing, but they're getting better and better.
If you're anything like Peter McKinnon, I know you love to carry around your pocket knife in your pocket, but don't do that in Japan. Any sharp object that's over 5 centimeters will consider as a weapon in Japan. Please don't put that in your pocket and walk around in Japan, because you might get into pretty big trouble. Leave your pocket knives at home and please do not bring it to Japan. Japan is very strict about smoking areas, and they're really good at separating them between smoking areas and non-smoking areas. So walking around downtown, you will see a lot of designated area for smoking. So especially if you're smokers, please don't walk around and smoke just publicly. That will consider very rude and very disrespectful for other people and people's health in general. So please don't do it. Please find the closest designated smoking area at your place.
So when you guys come to Japan and you guys stay in a traditional hotel, you're most likely gonna have an onsen. An onsen is like a hot spring, a big tub. It's separated males and females. Share a big tub with the people staying there. Maybe not at the same time, but what you want to do not forget to do this, wash your body first. You're gonna have a shower area, so wash your body before going into the tub, because if they see you just walking straight for the tub, somebody might tackle you. Keep in mind, wash your body. It's very gross just getting into the tub without washing your body. And another thing about this though, it's gonna come back to the tattoo topic. Some hotels might not let you get in if you have a tattoo. So do some research ahead of time to see if they have any regulations on tattoos. Usually they're pretty good on their websites talking about letting you know if they allow tattoos or not, especially when it comes to if you click on the ONSEN page. Don't forget to do some research, because once you show up and then you find out that you're not allowed to get in, then it's not going to be fun, so don't forget to do that.
If you come to Tokyo, you don't want to stand on the right side of the escalator, because usually in Tokyo, the left side of the escalator is where you stand and right side of the escalator is where you walk. So when you come to Tokyo, don't stand on the right side. But if you visit west side of Japan, which is Kyoto, Osaka, Hyogo and stuff, you don't want to stand on the left side of the escalator, because the left side will be the walking side and the right side will be standing side. So please be careful of that. On the other parts of Japan, it doesn't really matter, but strictly Tokyo and Osaka, Kyoto is very different. So please be aware of that, and please don't stand on the right side in Tokyo.
All right guys, so these are the 10 things that we came up together that we thought were pretty important to know before you come to Japan. There's a few more, but you know, nothing you can't find out by just doing a little quick research on the internet. You know, things not to do in Japan. Just type it up real quick. If you guys ever come here, let us know, hit us up, because we'd definitely love to be your personal tour for Japan. So if you guys like this video, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll see you in the next video.